So, you probably heard the news. Elon Musk just dropped a new project name, Macrohard. And yeah, you heard that right. But this isn't just some quirky product launch. This is basically a declaration of war over how AI is going to weave itself into our jobs and our lives. And get this, Musk isn't just saying his AI can help out software companies or automate a few things. No, he's claiming it can become them, literally emulating their entire function. And while that name got a lot of laughs, the target is absolutely no joke. This is a direct shot at Microsoft, one of the biggest players on the planet.
So what is this? Is it just a joke? A meme that went too far? Or is it something much, much bigger, like the first shot in a new platform war for the future of AI? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. What Macrohard actually is, how it stacks up against Microsoft's pretty powerful countermove, and why this is all about who gets to control where your AI actually does its work. To really get what's going on here, you need to understand one key thing. This isn't really about whose AI model is smarter or faster, it's about where the AI is allowed to play.
You've got two totally opposite philosophies clashing. On one side, you have Macrohard, with this idea of an AI agent that works from the outside. It's looking at your screen, moving your mouse, just like you do. Then you have Microsoft, which is all about keeping agents locked inside their own walled garden, their controlled ecosystem where every single action is governed and tracked. And that one difference, inside versus outside, well, that changes absolutely everything.
Okay, so what does that even mean? A UI-level agent. Think of it like a digital coworker. It's not plugging into some complicated code in the background. Nope, it's just looking at the screen, figuring out what's there, and then using the mouse and keyboard to get things done. It's a completely different way of thinking about automation.
Now, to really see why Macrohard could actually be a real threat, you have to look at the bigger picture. You have to look at this incredible, vertically integrated machine that Musk has been putting together for years. This is way more than just one company's pet project. I mean, think about it. It's not just one company. You've got Tesla in the mix, designing the custom AI chips. You have SpaceX, which gives them this global infrastructure, maybe even data centers in orbit someday. Then there's X, Twitter, as this massive built-in way to get it to hundreds of millions of people. And right at the center of it all, XAI, bringing the AI models and the crazy computing power needed to build them.
And when I say crazy computing power, I mean it. We're talking about their training cluster, which they've nicknamed Colossus. The claim is it's got 200,000 GPUs. That's just a staggering number. It's the kind of firepower you absolutely need if you're serious about taking on the giants of the industry.
Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Well, this digital Optimus idea basically runs on three loops working together. First, you've got a planner, which is the brain. That's the Grok model, deciding the next move. Then there's a perception loop that's literally watching the screen in real time. And finally, an action loop that moves the mouse and types. It sees, it thinks, it does. Simple as that.
Okay, so that's the challenger. But what about the reigning champion? Because Microsoft is definitely not just sitting around watching this happen. They've spent the last 50 years building a fortress.
And the heart of their defense is what they call the governed work graph. It's a fancy term, but what it really means is they own the entire playground where most of us work. Office, Windows, all the identity and security and compliance stuff that companies rely on, they control all of it.
And Satya Nadella's strategy here is super clear. First, keep all the AI agents governed, locked safely inside their walls. Second, make the AI models themselves interchangeable, so they're not betting on just one horse. And third, use their massive existing footprint to own the entire distribution channel.
And their first big counterpunch is something called Copilot Co-work. The timing here is fascinating, right? They announced this just 2 days before Musk's big reveal. And the key thing about it is that it operates completely inside Microsoft 365. It uses your existing company login, so it can only see and do what you are allowed to see and do. And for businesses, that's a huge selling point.
And that right there brings us to the real battle, because this isn't just about cool tech demos. For businesses, this whole war is going to be fought and won on one thing: trust. And with that, security and safety.
So if you look at the models powering these things, you see those two different philosophies again. Macrohard is going all in on its own tech, Grok 4.1. Microsoft, they're playing the field. They're building a platform that can use models from OpenAI, from Anthropic, and even their own internal Phi models. It's all about giving customers options and not getting locked into one single stack.
Now, when it comes to benchmarks, it's a little tricky. Macrohard doesn't have official scores yet,
but we know its engine, Grok 4.1, does pretty well on tasks that involve choosing actions. But here's the thing. Microsoft isn't really trying to win on raw test scores. Their benchmarks are all about how well their AI handles specific user interfaces, and, most importantly, how safe it is.
And that brings us to what might be Macrohard's Achilles heel. Because it works from the outside, just like a person, it's open to something called a prompt injection. Just imagine, a hidden command in an email or a website tells the agent, hey, transfer 10 grand to this account. An agent that isn't perfectly secured could just do it. And for any company, that is a terrifying security nightmare.
And that's why Microsoft's whole pitch can be boiled down to this one idea. They know that for a big company, having a perfect auditable security trail is way more important than getting a few extra points on some benchmark. They're not just selling AI, they're selling peace of mind. You could say they're selling trust, not just test scores.
Okay, so we've seen the challenger's strategy, we've seen the champion's defense. Where does this leave us? Who's actually going to win this new platform war for AI agents? All right, here's the verdict. In the short term, let's say the next year, year and a half, Microsoft has the clear upper hand. Big companies are just not going to risk it. They'll stick with the safety of the walled garden. But, and this is a big but, if Macrohard can somehow crack the code on security and reliability, then its outside the app model becomes a massive existential threat to, well, to just about every software company out there.
And that really leaves all of us with a huge question about what we want the future of work to look like. As these AI agents get smarter and smarter, do we want them to have the keys to the car, acting completely on their own? Or should they just be our navigators, suggesting the route but always letting us keep our hands on the wheel, making the final call? The answer to that is going to shape